What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? I'm looking at the injury report for Sunday, and it's looking like Santa's Christmas list as we currently speak. We're trending in the right direction for Brian Robinson Jr. and even Tyler Owens, but it's looking like we're not going to see Dorance Armstrong this week. This is Rambling About Washington. Let's talk about it. First things first, this video and all videos this season are brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, home of the fastest payouts in the industry, and a deposit bonus of 150% on your first deposit. Promo code YouTube150. One more time, that was promo code YouTube150 and a 125% bonus on your second and third deposits for up to $2,000. Bet responsibly and do it with BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Now to the topic of today's video. Man. Look at this injury report here. Most of the interesting parts here go on the Carolina side, but let's start with Washington. Most importantly, it's really trending toward Brian Robinson Jr. returning on Sunday. If you've seen his media scrum earlier in the locker room, he wanted to play versus Baltimore, and they had to tell him, bro, we can't put you out there this week. He wants to get after it. He was limited for a second day in a row. Tyler Owens and Noah Brown, who are limited or didn't practice the day before, they were back at it. Full go and limited as well. We're looking to get Tyler Owens back out there on the field, mostly on the special team side of the ball. Shit, I want him worked into the defense at some point. But Washington's best edge rusher through the first 6 weeks of the season, our priority free agent signing, Dorance Armstrong, I get the feeling we're going to miss him for a couple weeks. I hope it's not the case. Maybe they're slow playing it. They're slow cooking the chicken with Dorance, but we don't know exactly what this injury is yet. We don't know if it's oblique related, if it's rib related. We don't know what the injury is. I know it scared me when I seen his Instagram stories talking about, Lord help me Jesus, when he was on the MRI table and shit. But he was DNP. He didn't practice for a second day. Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner got a veterans rest day off. Nothing to see here. And Quan Martin is interesting enough. He was limited for a second day in a row. That's something we definitely want to monitor because Lord knows we don't need anything in the secondary being shorthanded. I mean, Percy Butler, we played a lot of three safeties looks last week because we were trying to sell out to the run with Baltimore. But I don't know if I need Percy Butler getting full-time Quan Martin snaps, so I hope he is good to go. I hope that is more precautionary than anything else. Jordan McGee, full go. We're going to see Jordan McGee for the first time on Sunday. I see Emmanuel Forbes on the list, but he's full go as well as Percy Butler as well. We're going to be good for the most part. Dorance Armstrong is looking like the main thing we're not going to have right now. But then you look at the Carolina side of things. Jesus Christ. Running back Jonathan Brooks, Jadeveon Clowney, Josie Jewell, Deontay Johnson, Taylor Moton, Ashawn Robinson. Who's practicing? Even some of their best, Ike Ekwano's limited. It seems like their whole roster is not available right now. So you're already looking at a bad Carolina team where you got 48% of the roster on the injury report and the other 52% are probably available via trade. So what better week than right now for Washington to just kick the ass of an opponent and have your starters in street clothes by the fourth quarter? Not only are you playing a bad football team, they're not even healthy. Their defense is already out there on a weekly basis trotting out 4 of its 11 starters. And if Deontay Johnson doesn't play, it is Chuba Hubbard and Xavier Legette versus the world. And Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, just out there by himself. You have no excuse this Sunday, Washington offense and Washington defense. You have no excuse. Do not play with your food because you can get upset in this league. Like 7.5 may not even tell the full story about this game at the end of the day, considering Washington has one of the more higher powered offenses in the league right now. But getting B-Rob back. I wish we were getting Dorance Armstrong back, but if there's a game I believe guys could miss, it's this one. I don't want to overlook an opponent. Y'all heard my guy Anthony from the C3 Panthers podcast last night. They're not looking forward to anything. They have nothing to root. She said, I'm rooting for Jaden Daniels to win Rookie of the Year. That is what a diehard Panthers fan told you on this show last night. There's nothing that they have to hope for, and the whole team's hurt. At this point, most of the team is for sale at the trade deadline. Are we going to be watching J.C. Horn? Absolutely. We're going to be paying attention to him because he's one of the 2 or 3 good players they have on the roster right now. I'm going to be watching Deontay Johnson if he plays too. Joe Witt Jr. focused and singled him out when he talked about his praise of Deontay Johnson earlier. That is actually a realistic trade candidate for this team. And people go, oh, Rio, we don't need any more. Yes, we do need more receivers because our second and third leading receivers on this team are a tight end and a running back. So as cool as Noah Brown is, yes, we could definitely use another receiver in the room. I'm not going to debate it with anybody because we do. We do, period. But this is shaping up to be one of the lopsided calls that we've seen with this team in quite some time. Are we going to answer said call? We'll see on Sunday. Or are we going to play with our food and play down the competition? 6 weeks through the season, I can't tell you that Washington is a Super Bowl contender yet, but what I can tell you is we are very far from being what the Carolina Panthers currently are. So to continue into the trajectory that we're headed to, you beat the shit out of this team on Sunday. Look at the injury report and look at what the guys, even when they are on the field, are doing each Sunday. They're giving up 34 points a game. 34 points a game. Guess who scored the most points in the NFL this year? Us and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a 51-point game on Sunday to catch Washington at the top of the list. Even when we're off, we're still scoring. You can literally wake up and step on the field, and 24 points are getting scored on this Carolina team on Sunday. They spot teams 34. I've seen the Bears do. I've seen quite a few teams put some points up on these guys this year. You never want to say get right game, but that's exactly what this is this Sunday. Get right. Stiffer competition awaits next week when the Chicago Bears come to town. I'm not going to give that organization any more than I need to right now because it's going to get toxic on this channel next week. It's going to get toxic on the airwaves and on the internet next week when it's Chicago versus Washington because they're obsessed with our quarterback. They like him more than we like him at this point. Now, they be hating low-key, but this injury report makes me feel like, my God. And if we decided to rest more players than typically, I would understand it for this game. You have to win this game by 2 possessions plus. This is a bad football team who wants no parts of winning right now. Half of its roster is probably for sale, and guys are making business decisions. You can't tell me every one of these niggas is hurt. You can't tell me every one of these guys on this injury report that I'm looking at right now is hurt. There's a lot of business decisions happening, and they just trying to get free checks at this point. But I want to learn more about Dorance Armstrong's injury because we need him. That is not a loss we're not willing to stomach. We can't next man up edge rusher right now because Dante Fowler and Dorance Armstrong about all we have there. There's going to be a group of fans that say Jamin Davis can do it. I'm not sure he can. I'm not sure he can because if he could, he would be getting more playing time. He wouldn't be a healthy scratch on Sunday. Emmanuel Forbes and Jamin Davis might at some point be cut. We might have to cut bait with him. We might have to trade and get some type of assets for him, but I don't see there many assets being on the table for either of those guys. But there's no excuse this week. Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr., Cliff Kingsbury, make light work of these boys because they're making light work of themselves, bro. The whole team's on the fucking injury report. That's a Santa's Christmas list. That's a CVS receipt. That is a fucking Harry Potter page of scroll. That's a lot of names on that list. For Washington, it's only a couple guys that we really need to be talking about, and it looks like Brian Robinson Jr. is going to play. Noah Brown. Quan Martin's limited, so that's something to monitor. but not too much to see from the Washington standpoint because guys are getting veteran rest days. But that Carolina list, that's a lot of DMPs, and I see some important names on that list. Their best player right now is wide receiver Deontay Johnson, and I think he's going to get dealt by the trade deadline with an expiring contract. I think someone's going to trade for that guy, and he's going to pop in to be either someone's wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2. I think he would be a perfect candidate to be a wide receiver 2 here in DC. I think he would be a great fit. I know we could use some more size, but Deontay Johnson plays much bigger than his size. If he doesn't play on Sunday, the Carolina, we need to sell out for the run. All Chuba Hubbard. Just stack the box up and unleash the hounds. Send these backers at him. Jeremy Chin and Frankie Louvu, revenge game. Send them at Andy Dalton's ass. Let's be done with this shit. Let's have them wrapped up by the fourth quarter, signed, sealed, and delivered, and let's start prepping for Chicago. That's all I got on the matter. Just an injury report update. More content to come on the channel as we get through the week. May or may not stream some of the Thursday night game tonight, depending on how I get off with Josh and Roundtable later to go. That's all I got for right now. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders, and shout out to our sponsor, BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, home of the fastest payouts in the industry, and a 150% match bonus on your first deposit using promo code YouTube150. 125% on your second and third deposit for up to $2,000. Please bet responsibly. Washington, please get these boys the fuck out of here this Sunday. I'm out.